How's it going, guys? My name is Greg. Today we're going to do a couple different movements. We're going to be stretching from a seated position as well as some yoga exercises from a seated or chair position. Stretching is going to be really important for us no matter what we're doing. As we kind of go through our daily routines, we tend to do similar movements, so that means we're using similar muscles throughout our day. So if we're using the same muscles over and over again, that's good for those muscles because it kind of builds them up, but it also causes them to be overly tight if they're getting overused. So what stretching does is it helps release those muscles, kind of brings balance back to your body so that certain parts aren't much stronger than the other one. These yoga exercises are also going to help us not only stretch and work on our mobility, but they're also going to improve some of our strength, as you'll feel certain muscles being worked maybe you're not used to, which is a really good thing because we want all our muscles to be strong, right? Not just some of them. So things like yoga exercises, different kind of movements, that will help keep our body nice and well-rounded so we can be happy and healthy, okay? So to start, what we're going to go over first is our breathing. So we're going to use this breathing technique throughout all of these poses and stretches. It's really simple. We're going to practice doing about 10 breaths here together. What we're going to do is we're going to breathe in our nose, and then we're going to breathe out through our mouth, okay? And when we breathe, we want to feel our belly fill up with air, okay? We don't want it just in our chest. We want the air to go all the way into our belly so we have a nice deep breath, okay? So it'll look, I guess you can't really see, but it'll go something like this. You can have your hands on your belly so you can feel it expand as you're filling it with air. So we'll go in our nose. We'll pause for a second. And then blow out our mouth, okay? So make sure we stay up nice and tall when we're doing this. Let's see if we can go for about 9 more breaths here, all right? In our nose, hold for a second, and then out through the mouth. Again, hands on the belly helps so you can make sure the air is getting all the way down there, all right? As you're breathing, you should feel your belly push against your hands. I think we're at 4. I lost count, but let's do 2 more for good measure. And last one. All right, go to relax. Get started. We're going to go through some nice easy stretches to get us going. This first one is going to be for our shoulders. So we're going to take one arm, we're going to bring it across our chest, and then we're going to grab this elbow or put your forearm on that elbow and kind of pull in using this hand so we can get a nice stretch at the top of this shoulder. We'll hold for about 10 seconds on each stretch. And we'll do the other side. And now we're going to take our hand and go behind our back, kind of like we're going to scratch the top of our back. And then we're going to reach behind with the other hand and kind of pull on the elbow just a little bit. Again, hold for about 10 seconds. Now we're going to switch to the other side here. Go ahead and shake those shoulders out. So for our next stretch, we're going to take our right ear, we're going to lean towards our right shoulder, and you should feel a nice stretch coming down the side of your neck. And we're going to take our left arm now, since we're turning our head right, and we're going to do some easy shoulder circles, just nice and slow. You should feel the stretch getting a little more intense as you're rolling your shoulder around the side of your neck. Good. Come back to the center. And then we're going to lean the opposite way with our head. And then the other shoulder now is going to go in rotation. All right. Back to the center. Shake out the shoulders. Staying with our neck now, we're going to take our chin and we're going to bring it into our chest, and we're going to look straight down in our lap, bringing our head as forward as we can, and should feel a stretch on the back of our necks now. And now we're going to go the opposite way, so leaning back, chin is going up to the ceiling. Should be stretching the front part of our neck now. And relax. So now we're going to go back to our shoulders and we're going to roll them out. So we're going to start by bringing them up to our ears and then rolling them forward. And then we're going to bring them back down, up to our ears again, and then rolling forward. So kind of making like a circular motion with our shoulders. Alright, now we're going to go backwards, same thing, shoulders up to our ears, and now we're going to roll them back. So up, back now. Let's do one more. Alright. Okay, now we're going to go with some arm circles. So we're going to take our hands and we're going to put them straight out to our sides. And we're just going to make some nice big circles going forward. And we'll relax for a second. And then we're going to go backwards. Alright, now we're going to stretch out our wrists. Kind of a forgotten muscle. There's some forearm muscles in here that help us move our wrists up and down. So we're going to stretch those out now too. We'll start by taking our hands out in front. We're going to extend our fingers. And first we're going to point our fingers down towards the ground, kind of keeping them together. Should feel a stretch on the top of our forearm here. We're going to hold that for a few seconds. And then we're going to point them back up to the ceiling and do the same thing, kind of straightening out your elbows as well. And down. And back up. We'll do this one more time, down. this out now. Going both ways, so rolling in and then rolling out too. A bit more. Good. All right, so now we're going to take our hands, we're going to bring them together. We're going to extend them out from our body, kind of like we're an elephant. We have a big elephant trunk out here in front of us. And first, we're going to take our hands and we're going to push them towards the ground, leaning forward, reaching for our toes. And from there, keeping our hands together, we're going to sit back, let our hands come up over our heads, reach up nice and high. And then we're going to circle around and bring our hands back to the center. And we're going to reach it forward again. Reaching forward. Sitting back now, hands shoot up to the sky. We're reaching nice and tall. And then we're going to circle around and come back to the center. Do a few more of these. Do one more here. Big circle and relax. All right, now we're going to stretch out some of our back muscles, okay? So the first one that we're working on is this big lat muscle that comes down our side, it finishes right around our waist. So we're going to want to focus on that area while we're doing this stretch. So to get this lat to stretch, we're going to bring this arm up in the air. This hand we're going to use as a support, so I'm going to stick it on the inside of this knee, and I'm just going to lean towards my right side if I'm to have my left arm in the air. Should feel a nice stretch coming down. Take some deep breaths. Try to lean a little bit more each time you breathe. Relax. All right, now same thing, going the opposite way. So hand on the inside, other arm comes straight up, and we're leaning to our other side. Okay, continuing with our lat stretches now, we're going to make this movement just a little bit more dynamic. Instead of just leaning and holding, we're going to alternate sides. So we're going to reach up with one hand and then pull it back down to our side. And reach up with the other hand and then pull back down to our side. Kind of like if we're climbing a rope, you want one hand over the other. Similar motion, reaching, coming back down. Do two more of these. And relax. Now for this next one, we're going to stretch our upper back muscles. So these ones up here, kind of right below our neck. We're going to grab the front of our knees just like this. And we're going to let our chest round forward. And we're going to push our back as far back as we can, kind of fighting against our hands here, okay? So the hands are like our resistance, and we're pushing our chest back Now we should be nice and tight here with our hands on our knees. Pushing, we'll try to hold for about 10 seconds. And relax. Do that one more time. Again, grab the knees nice and snug and push your back behind you. Let your chest round. And relax. Now we're going to do another stretch for our back, this time for our lower back. This one we're just going to place our hands loosely on our thighs here, not grabbing our knees this time, and we're just going to push backwards into our seat, kind of forcing our chest back now. Go ahead and come forward. With this one, you can also get a little more of a stretch if you have your hands up over your head, and same thing, reaching back. And relax. Okay, now we're going to stretch out our midsection, so kind of our core muscles, our abdomen, also our obliques. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to place one hand on the inside of our knee. The other side can grab somewhere on our chair if we're seated, and we're just going to turn and try to point one shoulder in front of us as well as the other one behind us. Just like this, you want to sit up nice and tall. Hold the position and then try to turn just a little bit more. Now let's go back the other way. This hand comes on the inside and this hand comes on my chair. And we're turning. All right, now using a similar motion, we're going to bring our elbows up. Our hands can be out in front. And we're just going to do the same thing, but now alternating sides. So we're going to turn one way, hold, and then turn the other way, and hold. So it's a nice steady pace. Trying to turn back just a little bit further each time we turn. Go ahead and relax on that one. A couple more poses here now. This next one, we're going to take our hand and we're going to bring it up right around our head, and our elbow is going to be bent, so we have like a nice little corner here that our arm is making. And now we're going to bring our elbow and drive our whole arm backwards. So this stretch should feel right here in your chest muscles. Again, we're going to try and keep our shoulders square and only push our elbow back. You're going to relax that side. Let's do the other side. Hand up, elbow back. The hand should stay right over the top of the elbow. And relax. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing, but with both of our hands at the same time, okay? So now our hands are up by our head, kind of like we're making a touchdown pose. Something like that, and now we're doing the same thing, driving our elbows back, stretching both sides at the same time. And relax. Okay, now we're going to do a couple more movements from that same position that we were using in our stretch. So our hands are back up. Hands are over our elbows are out. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to reach one hand and we're going to grab our opposite shoulder. And we're going to grab, when we grab our shoulder, we're going to look away from our hand. And we're going to come back, or our hand comes back, our head comes back to the center, and we're going to do the opposite side. So hand reaches to the shoulder, and the head looks away, and back. Do 2 more. And relax. Okay, so I have one more pose like that. We're going to take a few seconds to let our shoulders recover a little bit. All right, so now we're back in this position, and now instead of reaching for our shoulder, we're going to reach down to our knee. Same thing with our head, we're still looking away from our hand, and then we're going to come back to the center. So reach for the knee, look away, and then back to the center. Okay, go to relax. Alright guys, so we're done with our stretches, we're done with our yoga poses. Now we're just going to finish with 10 more easy breaths, just like we did in the beginning. This time, let's just have our hands on our lap here. We're going to turn our palms up to the ceiling. We're going to relax our shoulders. Feel free to close your eyes if you want to. Now we're going to do the same thing, 10 breaths, nice, easy pace. Going in our nose, out our mouth, and yeah, here we go. Let's do about 3 more breaths. And last one. Alright guys, we are all set. Hopefully you feel nice and relaxed now. Your bodies are nice and loose, muscles are stretched. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Keep working on these poses if you like them. And thanks for watching.